This is the TMT, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty Seller's Benefits Presentation. Now, people like to call this a listing presentation, but the truth is that listing is only one step in the process of selling a home. And we're not in the business of listing properties, we're in the business of marketing and selling properties. And so listing is just one step. And what we're doing when we're having this conversation with the Mr. and Mrs. Home Seller is we are sitting down with them and we are having a consultation. It's not a presentation. This is not a one-sided dump of everything that we know to get them, when they're exhausted, to go and sign a listing agreement. This is a consultation. We want to be able to both understand what their needs are, what the process is for getting this particular home prepared and then ready and then marketed and then sold. And every home is different. Every seller obviously is different. There's a story that has to go with each individual home. And a part of determining what that story is what you're going to learn during the time that you're actually presenting to them the benefits of working with you and the team that supports you. So you've had a great phone conversation. You may have been talking to them for a while, and they've agreed that it's a good idea for you to come and do what we call an equity diagnostic analysis, which is simply nothing more than a fancy way of saying, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time together talking about what it is that your home really is worth in this marketplace. And we're going to determine how to best market that home. We're going to give you some excellent advice on what you'll need to do, but more importantly, what you won't need to do in order to get your home prepared to be able to get the best sale price for your home and to make it as attractive to buyers as possible. And then we're going to spend some time talking about what's going to be left in your pocket after all of the costs of the sale. So when I'm completed, you'll be able to really understand not only what your home is worth, but what you're going to have left once you sell it. So if you're okay with that, then why don't we find a good time when you and your wife, Mary, is going to be available for me to be able to pop by for about 30 to 45 minutes and go through this with you so that we can make sure that you're feeling really good about the idea of what's going to be required to get your home sold for the greatest amount of money and in the shortest amount of time and with the least hassle for you. And they say, okay, fine, great. And you book the meeting, and at the end of the conversation, you reiterate what this meeting is going to be about. And after you hang up, the first thing you do is you send them a confirmation email, which is embodied in the seller's converter. And then you prepare and get in the mail, or if this meeting is going to be within 48 hours, either delivered through UPS ground or dropped off directly, a copy of the BOM, which is the 17 great pages created by Dan Kennedy. And between the converter and the BOM, what you're doing is not only are you first providing them with information that probably no other agent is going to be able to provide, pre-listing information, but you're showing your enthusiasm for working with them. And as far as gaining understanding, you're providing them with a good amount of really attractive and versatile information that's going to educate them about what it is you're going to go through in your seller's benefits presentation. In fact, it is the seller's benefits presentation with all of the key marketing elements and the reasons why they should be working with somebody like you, so that when you arrive, they're prepared for much of what it is you're going to be talking about with them. And it's going to make it much more of a conversation than it is just simply a presentation. You're then going to follow up. You're going to make a phone call the day before just to reconfirm that they're still good to go. And then the morning of or the day of the meeting, you're going to send them a text saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is Mr. or Miss Real Estate Advisor and Selling Partner with the Miskin team. And I can't wait to get a chance to meet with you guys at 6 o'clock this evening to help you get your home sold. And off you go and you do the meeting. So now you arrive at the home. And it's really a good idea to get there a few minutes early, because that way you can do a short drive around the neighborhood so that you can get a visual sense of what other homes are in that immediate vicinity, because they may have the nicest home in a crummy neighborhood, or they may have the crummiest home in a nice neighborhood, or they may fit into all of the other homes that are in the neighborhood, whether they're nice or crummy. But now you have an idea on the ground of what that neighborhood is like, because remember, buyers are not just buying a home. They're also buying an area, a neighborhood, a community, next door neighbors. And so you want to see what the buyer is going to see, which is going to help you when you talk with them about where their home fits in among all of the other homes that have been sold as you're talking about price. And then if you can, take a quick just walk around the sides, and if you can, the back of the house, just to get a fast visual of what their home looks like, and then go knock on the door and say, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. This is me, your Miskin team selling agent, and I'm so glad to meet you. You folks ready to get your home sold tonight? And most of the time they're going to say, well, yeah, which is good. Occasionally they're going to say, well, we're not so sure. To which you're going to say, oh, okay, what's up? Something changed since we've chatted? And they'll tell you, oh, we're talking to a Keller Williams agent, or last night my Aunt Marie, who was 97, died, and she has $4 million, and we might inherit it, and so we might stay here for another year. Lots of reasons. And every once in a while, they'll say to you, well, we're just not sure. Things have changed. And so we're not sure when or if we even want to sell the house, but we'd like to hear what you have to say. And so what you will say to those people is, well, gosh, gee, I'm glad you've let me know. That's, something that's very important, and I really understand that things can change. But anything that I have to tell you tonight is really going to be dated, because what we've researched and what we understand about your home and the marketplace and pricing is good for a couple of months. The short time it will take for us to get your home prepared, get it sold, and get it closed. But anything longer than that is really not going to be of any relevance to you. So why don't we just set a time when I can come back that's more attuned to when it is that you really want to sell the home. And that way, when I come back, I will have immediate, up-to-date information that will really give you good relevant data on what you need to do to get your home sold and leave. Anything other than that, you say, so where's the best place for me to go set up so we can spend some time chatting? And you head straight for the kitchen. And they will follow you, or they will say, oh, the kitchen or the dining room. And you say, oh, the kitchen's great. And you take your tablet or your laptop and you fire it up and you put it out on the table and you start to let it get queued up. And you say, so, hey, why don't we take a couple of quick minutes to really walk around the home, because I'd like to get a good visual idea of what the house is like now that I'm here, to help me to match that up with what my assumptions were, so that we can get that to fit into what we think the house is going to be worth. And then you take a walk with them. And the walk, of course, is to be able to see what condition the home is in, but it's also to be able to have 5 minutes to get an idea of who's driving the bus. If you've got a husband and wife, or there's partners, or parent and child, or whomever is selling that house, who's in charge here? Who's talking most about how the house is set up, and who did what, and what the condition is, and how much they work to get the floors polished, and who's the driving force? Who's behind the scenes? Are they both together? Do they have different points of view? And it also gives you a little bit of time to just stand back and watch them and gauge what you think their disc profile is. Is it sort of a machine gun? I fixed this and I did that, and the walk around the house takes all of 2 minutes, you have a D. If you have somebody who's really into telling you how much time it took for them to pick that shade of purple for their little girl's room, and how much fun they have when everybody comes over because they really love their family room, and you have an I, and so on. Gauging the disc profile of the people that you're going to be speaking with and consulting with is a huge help, because now you have a much better idea of how to really show them what it is you need them to know by speaking to them in the style in which they are best able to receive what you have to give them. And usually if there's two people involved, there'll be two different personality styles, and you'll get a sense of it. But now you've walked back to the table and you've sat down and you said, hey, before we get started, there's just a couple of quick things I'd like to ask. And you will have to ask this question when you are talking with them, getting information about the property and about them and what they're interested in and what their needs are when you were going through the seller's questionnaire and profile. And the number one key question that you're going to ask them is, so tell me, what is it that's really most important to you that has to happen as a result of this sale? What's most important to you in this sale? And again, shut up and be quiet. Let them tell you. Is it moving more quickly? Is it getting a family in here to keep the integrity of the neighborhood because you want to make sure that this family style neighborhood stays cool because you really love your neighbors and you're going to be staying in touch with them? Is it to have enough time because they're worried that they won't find another home? Is it the bottom line because they really need to get their money out in order to put a down payment on their next home? Lots of different reasons. And you want to be able to get them to tell you either again or again for the first time what it is that's most important to them as a result of this sale. And after they've told you, and they may tell you one or two things, and you'll stop and you'll say, okay, so let me just repeat back to you what I think I heard you say so I understand it, and repeat back to them the one or two things that they've said. And you can say to them, so other than those two things, is there anything else that's really important to you as a result of this sale? And they may have nothing, and they may come up with two more ideas. And so you just repeat those back to them and ask the same question again until you feel you've gotten to the heart of what it is that's most important to them that has to be the outcome of this sale. And then ask them the second question, which is, what do you think has to happen in order for this all to get done, to get your home sold, and to make you feel that it's all worked to your benefit? And then they will tell you some things. Everything from, gee, I don't know, to, when my neighbor down the street got their home sold, they had like 8 open houses, which automatically tells you, they're watching what's going on in the neighborhood. They don't really understand the home selling process. But they did see something happen, and somewhere along the line, they equated one of those 8 open houses as resulting in the sale. So you make a note of that. And anything else that they might say to you. And now that you've gotten that written down, you have some information that you can use to relate back to as you're explaining to them, discussing with them, helping them to become a part of the various benefits that you have that will help them get that home sold. You also want to make sure that you really understand how to get through this in the most efficient way. And so here's what you now do. Now that you had a chance to observe them, you're going to ask them one more question before you get started, which is, so, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, what's the best way for me to really go through this information? I've got a lot of things that I can talk with you about and show you, but what's the best way for me to do this for you? Are you kind of a big picture person and like to ask questions as you go? Or do you just want the facts, and if there's something important, you'll tell me? Or do you really want to dig into the details? What's best for you? And let them tell you. And if it's a combination of things, you know that you're going to have to spend a little bit of time in some areas that are a little bit more complicated to go through the facts to make sure that the fact-oriented person is comfortable. But you're also going to want to get through it with enough color and panache, if it's an I personality, or enough, hit the highlights and make sure that they know what's going on for a D. But since most of your people are S's and C's with a lot of I dashed in it and there's not that many D's, you know you're going to have a blended kind of a presentation. And once you get started, you'll be able to watch them and see how they're reacting, who's talking, who's listening, who's lost eye contact, who's had eye contact, and mirror and match them so that at all times you're talking to them in a way in which they're most able to hear and understand what you're saying to them and most comfortable with it. And now you're going to get started. You say, okay, so really what we're doing is we're talking tonight about getting your home sold for top dollar and in your time frame and guaranteeing that it's going to get done. And there's just a lot of things that we do, because our mission is to get your home sold at the right price in your time frame and with the least amount of hassle for you. And we do it really by using our unique team system and the innovative consumer programs that we have. We've got a lot of really just out there on the edge leading technology and many, many years of experience in selling homes in this community and a lot of specialized knowledge. So here's how I would like to proceed, if it's okay with you. First, I'd like to just spend a little bit of time talking about the way we sell homes as compared to how other agents do it. Talk some about the exclusive and unique consumer programs that we use to be able to get the many, many buyers that we believe will be interested in purchasing your home to come and see it. And talk about the team system. And then once we're done, I'm going to spend some time talking about the finances, the money, what's your home worth, and look at some good comparisons so you can get comfortable with what your home may be worth in the market. And we'll also talk about what we think your home should price at and what will be left in your pocket. So, any questions about how I'd like to proceed? And usually they say no. See, there are some agents who, before they get started, say, hey, before we get started, you got any questions that you'd like to ask me? And inevitably, the first thing that the sellers will say is, well, what's your commission? And now you've put one of the last things that you're going to be talking about, what your fees are in relation to all of the benefits you're bringing and the price that you can get them for the home. None of that's been talked about. All they want to know is how much is it going to cost me? So you're setting up the context for how this whole program is going to proceed that evening, asking their permission to move forward, smiling, and heading into it. And you then say, hey, you don't know a whole lot about me because we've never met, although you may have heard something about our company because it's been around for many, many years. And gosh, we've sold like 6,000 houses in the last 20 years. But that's not really what's most important to me. What's most important to me is really what we've been able to do to become a part of this community. And we've done that by really working with two wonderful charities, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta and Must Ministries. And folks like you and referrals that you may send us actually help us help the kids and the homeless. Oops, that's what happens when you click the wrong button. And it's part of our Go Serve Big program. Our whole attitude when we're working with people, when we're working with folks like you to help you to be able to sell your home, is to really put you first. Our whole posture is put others first and you'll never be second. And we do that both by serving you and also by serving the community, by giving back both with hands-on activities that we do with those charities, both of which have been around for nearly 50 years and do just some amazing work with people who are the most needy in our community. But also through our fundraising program, which really comes from the money that we give back out of the income that we earn when we help somebody sell or purchase a home. We take a portion of the commission that we earn, our income, and we give that directly to both charities. And our goal this year is to be able to give back about $20,000 to those charities, needed money that we know is going to help them to really be able to keep their programs up and running and serving people as well as possible. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully by the end of tonight we'll be working together. And if you do know anybody in the meantime that's thinking about buying or selling a home, and if you do refer them to us, I can assure you that not only will they get the same wonderful service that I'm going to be providing to you, but a portion of the income that we earn from that referral will be donated back in their and your honor to those great charities. And so I just want to thank you in advance for being a pal. And here's where we start. And this is something that shocked the heck out of me the first time I saw it. What's pretty amazing is that according to the National Association of Realtors, 70% of my colleagues would never be called back by the clients that they worked with because they did a darn poor job. Now there's a pretty healthy list, and that's only a partial list of why folks like you who may have worked with realtors in the past would not call those people back again. And a big one is poor communication, but all of these are really important issues. It's the kind of service that just is not out there, and it's just not the kind of thing that we can stand, because what we do is we talk with folks all the time, both the clients we're working with right now and our past clients, and ask them some pretty hard questions about how well we're doing or how well we did, so that if we're goofing up or if we did a pretty good job, how can we do a much better job? How can we do a good job? How can we do a great job? And because we do that, nearly 86% of the folks that we have worked with, that we provided what we call our second mile service, do come back to us and do refer us to folks that they know. And that's evidenced by the awards that we've won over the last 4 or 5 years, being the #1 team in our city for customer service. And there are a lot of agents and teams in our city. But also, 2 years in a row, we've won the 5-star award for real estate agents and teams as being in the top 1/2 of 1%, basically. 24 agents this year were chosen out of nearly 25,000 agents and teams because of the great customer service, and we were one of those 24. And so we're pretty proud of that. And that's part of our Go Sell Big program. If we can't give you everything that you need, then we're not doing our absolute best. That's not second mile service. And these are just some folks that we have worked with over the years for whom they believe we've given second mile service. And I wanted you to have a copy of this testimonial book. And it's just a little book that has maybe about 40 or 50 folks that we've worked with over the last few years that are talking about the different circumstances that they had, the different needs and goals that they had in helping to get homes sold, and how we were able to help them to do that job for them, and how pleased we were to do it. And you can just read that, at your leisure. But we thought it was important to let you know that it's not us bragging about ourselves. We really want to know how people think of what we've done for them, because you know what? There's a lot to do to get a home sold. A lot. And this is exactly how we don't do it. I kind of take a look at this. Some of this stuff is kind of funny, but some of the stuff is sad too. All the way down to, gosh, you know what? I can't figure out how to get this home sold. Nobody wants to come and see it. I don't even know if I have the right price. Maybe I'll just get down on my knees and pray that it'll sell. And yeah, I believe in prayer. I think prayer is a great thing. But that's not the thing that sells your home. The reason that they're in that posture is because most of the folks that you will talk with, most of the agents that are out there today, operate on their own. They're a one-man or one-lady circus, juggling all the balls that are necessary in order to be able to get a home sold correctly. And if they've got more than 1 or 2 or 3 clients, there's a lot of balls to juggle, and some of them are going to fall through the cracks. So a number of years ago, we set up our system to work as a team where there's different departments with people who are focused on what they do the best, so that I have all of the time that I need to spend with you to make sure that your home is sold and sold right. I don't have to do what the marketing people do. I tell them what I need, they take care of it, I approve it to make sure that it matches exactly what it is that we want for your home. I don't have to build the websites, there's tech people. There's a lot of things that I don't have to do, but all of them report to me so that I can direct them and that they know exactly what we need to tell the best story, to be able to talk about the benefits of your home, to make buyers really want to come and see it. And there's just a portion of the folks, we dressed up for the picture so that we would look snazzy for you, helping to participate in selling the 5,000 houses or so that we've sold over the last 20 years. And that's because of the team approach. It's custom advertising. It's a plan that's fine-tuned by the experts on our team. I personally write and supervise all the ads and the sale details and all of the website postings. And I initiate all of the very aggressive marketing through our key systems. What do you think? There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot to sell a home. And these are the 16 key systems. Who do you think in this entire process is the most important person in the process? Now shut up and I'm waiting for the answer. And the answer oftentimes is, well, me, says the seller. Sometimes they'll say you because they're being polite. Sometimes they'll say they don't know. But the correct answer is the most important person in this process is the buyer. It's the buyer that has to be comfortable with and attracted to your home. It's the buyer that's got to be able to see the value in that home. It's the buyer that has to appreciate the benefits of owning that home, because it's the buyer that has the money. And so everything that we are doing is to create a story that attracts buyers because they see the benefits and the value of a home like yours, and that they would be willing to come to see it. And by golly, when they do, they'd be delighted to put an offer in and purchase it from you. And those 16 systems that we use, they're there to create value in the benefits of your home. I mean, if somebody needs 4 bedrooms and 3 baths and you have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo, they're not going to come see your home. The features aren't right. But if the features and the location and the price seem to be in line, then what differentiates you from everybody else? It's the benefits of owning your home. It's the value of your home, not the features. And sometimes homes need some special programs. And when they do, in addition to the 16 key programs that we use to market your home, we have things like this. rbdeals.com. This is an exclusive program, exclusive only to our company in Georgia. And it takes your home and places it in a special online bidding program that we often link with a massive home display to get people to come and see your home all in 1 hour's time. We can get 25, 30, 40, 50 people, if need be, through a home that otherwise nobody has an interest in. And that's when an open house really works. We also have a unique rent-to-own program. You know, there are a lot of people out there who they are borderline in their credit. You need a 620 or a 640 credit score minimally in order to be able to get a home loan. You need a certain debt-to-income ratio. And their numbers are a little off. Not so far off that they couldn't eventually buy a home, but off just enough so that they can't buy a home now. So we've partnered with a large national company. It's called Home Partners of America. And if your home passes muster with Home Partners of America, we can go out and we can find rent-to-own buyers. These are all of the buyers that other people don't work with because they can't buy anything. They're just renters. But if they were put in a situation where somebody would buy the home for them and give them enough time to get their finances in order, they would buy that home. And so we bring them to houses that they really fall in love with. Home Partners purchases the home for them, just the same as a regular buyer would purchase it from you, no different. And then these folks move in, and a year or two later, they're able to buy the home. So we add literally thousands of buyers in Metro Atlanta because we can actually, if your home passes muster, talk to not only all the people who are buyers who can afford to buy your home, but all the people who would like to be buyers that Home Partners of America will buy that home for. And you have the benefit of talking to now nearly twice as many buyers as you would if you were talking to anybody else. For some homes, we have an investor network where we can do quick sales. All cash offers close in anywhere from 10 to 30 days, and there are lots of homes that need it. And we have something that's a unique program. It's called our Coming Soon program, where we pre-list and pre-market your home. We do that in a variety of national and local venues so we can test the marketing language that we use, the programs that we're going to use, the pricing that we think is appropriate, and do it all before the house goes on the market while you're preparing the home. So that when it does go on the market, we've got everything locked and loaded. We've pre-tested it, just like every major company in the world does when they're offering a new product to the marketplace. They do it for chocolate candy, they do it for automobiles, they do it for clothing lines. They test market to see how the public reacts and then fix things before the public has a chance to buy them. But you know what? More often than not, we will get buyers who will be interested in the house because they really want to be able to get in there before somebody else, and they will ask if they can see the house during the Coming Soon process. And if you're okay with that, there are a lot of times when we actually sell the house before it gets on the market, which saves you a bunch of hassle and gets you done that much more quickly. Then we have a short sale program for people who are in financial trouble. And all of these are designed to be able to create more demand for your home. I mean, why do you think when you go to the store and last month, those sneakers that were in that store that you wanted to buy, but you decided, heck, I don't need them immediately, so I'll just wait till next month. And they were $75 for the sneakers, and now the exact same sneakers, instead of being on sale, are $110. Because there was a big run on those sneakers, and there aren't that many left. And Nike discovered that they're a hot commodity. And so instead of reducing the price, they don't have to. The price goes up because there's fewer of them available, supply and demand. And the people who are willing to pay get those sneakers. A house is just the same. And it's not just fewer houses, more money, more houses, less money. It's good houses, marketed correctly and priced correctly, have a great deal more demand, because those houses really do display the benefits that buyers are looking for. And we can do that right straight out of our one-of-a-kind buyer profile exclusive buyers in waiting database. See, this is not how we do it. When we work with buyers, we don't stick 6 homes in front of them and show them 4 and tell them, hey, buy one. I mean, that would be, I guess, okay. Our buyer profile system figures out what buyers really want and then offers them, based on their criteria, solutions. And oftentimes those solutions are your home. And that way we're able to really expose your home to a large group of highly qualified and interested buyers. We're able to present a really powerful story to the prospects matching your home criteria. And the people that come to see it are serious about buying that home, because we've checked all the boxes and are really talking with people who want a home like yours in your area at your price range and just need to feel comfortable when they get there and see the benefits. And heck, we've got, 18,000 buyers in waiting in our database, 18,000 buyers in waiting in our database. And I brought this along, and you bring along a printout right out of our database with 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, 1,000 buyers, and notes on the top saying, hey, right in this area, there's 186 buyers that are looking for homes in this particular area at this price range. You just take it, put it right on the table in front of them and say, this is just a small example of what's going on in that 18,000. Do you think that there might not be a ready and willing and able buyer right there, right in that little pile that I just put on the table? And there's 18,000 more where they came from. And those don't even include the rent-to-own buyers. And we collect them and the most interested buyers through programs like this. This is one of those 16 programs. It's called 24-Hour Talking Ads. And these ads are linked to advertisements. They are linked on Facebook. They're linked to signs that will be placed on your property that tell the story of your home. And they do that in a way that gets folks to not just write down your phone number, but actually call us online or call us directly through their cell phone. And we can get calls by listening to our podcasts and listening to our announcements literally 7 days a week, which creates a huge pool of buyers, folks that are out there shopping, some who have real estate agents, some who have seen your house on some of the marketing programs that we use or on the national forums like Zillow. And of course, when they contact us, we contact them back, pre-qualify them, and if they really are good candidates for your home, get them into your house so that they can see it and fall in love. Very important program. Just one of those 16. We have all these internet systems. We call them IRAHasTheBuyers.com. And I do. Those 18,000 buyers. And we collect them through a lot of different branded and unbranded websites, through a whole group of different internet marketing programs that get people to visit those websites. But not only our website, but the 1,000 or so other syndicated websites, including other companies' websites. And it's not just being on their website. It's being different. It's differentiating you from the rest of the stuff that's on those websites. Great photographs, smart storytelling, unique offers that really make buyers interested in what they're seeing. This is an example of our own in-house, less branded website. That's the website that has those 18,000 buyers right in the database. And it's all done through marketing that's unique to be able to get people to know and understand your home. I mean, what if somebody was moving here from Kansas and they were going to look for a house and your house might fit their profile? How would you reach them? All through this And I haven't done that a great deal, but all through this, you want to pepper them with questions. Stop for a moment at a slide. Ask them a question. Ask them what they think. Now, suppose this particular family had said, hey, one of the things that's really important to us is to get the heck out of this house fast because we waited a long time to do this, and we really have to do this. This is now May, and we have to be in our new house by August because we're changing school districts. Okay, so it's all the more important to get the greatest number of people through that house as quickly as possible to get them some really good offers. But how are you going to do that? Well, okay, look, I have access to 18,000 buyers right now. I also, through our marketing, have access to all those rent-to-own buyers, but there's still probably 15 or 20,000 buyers out there that I don't know. So we've created our exclusive citywide and international buyers agents network. And we market directly to those buyers agents, targeting the ones that we know are working with buyers that would be interested in buying a home like yours in your area at your price range. And we let them know that your house is about to come on the market, is on the market, and we let them know about the activity and say, hey, if you're going to come and see that house with your buyer, I'd get there quickly because it might not be there in a couple of days or a week. And they do. I mean, gosh, we can, when things are working well, and they usually are, we can get people in your house every 20 or 30 minutes on the weekend. Create demand, create a feeding frenzy. The more people think they can't have something, the more they want it. And that's what we do. And that citywide buyer's agent network leads right into our international presence through our platinum relocation network. We have companion agents and teams all throughout the United States and Canada. And we market your home to them because many of them have executives and workers that are relocating to other cities, and a lot of them do relocate to the Southeast, and many of them do relocate to Metro Atlanta. And what we do, when they do, they let us know that those people are coming to town so that we can actually show them homes that we have for sale for our sellers. Now, this is an example of somebody. This is a couple. This is Greg and Bobby Cook. And we sold them that house that was in Ackworth maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. He was a relocating executive that came here from Las Vegas, worked here for about 5 years, and then got stolen away by another company in New Orleans. And so they called us and said, okay, we're on to the next adventure. And we were able to get their home sold for cash in 1 day by helping them to be prepared using the systems that we had. And he had bought this house from one of the folks that was one of our sellers because he was part of our relocation network. So that's just proof that the whole system works. But let me tell you one thing about how we behave so that you know that we're just not sitting around waiting for somebody to give us an offer. It's called order taking. We have a system that we call our exclusive reverse offer system, and here's how it works. And this is a common problem. Buyers have a lot of options, and sellers are kind of left hoping that a buyer that came to your house might make an offer. If we, after we've gotten feedback from the agent that has brought the buyer, we feel that that buyer has some interest, but the agent just has not been able to focus the buyer to get them to make that offer. The buyer is kind of sitting on the fence, or they're not quite sure. They like house A, but they also like your house. We send them a reverse offer. That offer is an offer from you to them saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, just really pleased that you came to see our home. It's a home that we really love. We've lived here a long time, and now that we have to leave it, we're pretty sad because we're got to move to another community for a variety of reasons. But we were really hoping that someone is interested in the house and as nice as you would buy the house, and so we thought we'd just make an offer to you. For some buyers, they say, I didn't like that house that much, and nothing happens. But for other buyers, they say, well, golly, you know what? I did like that house. Maybe if I counter-offered a little different price and a little different terms, maybe the seller would change their posture a little bit, and I could get the house for what I need it for, and then everybody could be okay. And they counter-offer, and now we have a conversation. That's taking an aggressive posture. Don't wait for someone to make an offer. If you believe that that offer should have come, go ask for the order. Our goal is to not wait for something to occur. Our goal is to market your home in the best way to get buyers in quickly and get them excited about the benefits of owning your home, so that we can get you the absolute best price in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. And waiting for the order is not it. Asking for the order is what we do. And then there's this, our guaranteed sale program. Now, there's many a time that a buyer will come and they really love your home and they want to put an offer in on it, but they still have to sell their home. And so we will go to that buyer and we will say, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if you allow us to sell your home in order for you to buy our client's home, if I can't get your home sold in time for you to close on the purchase of our client's home, I'll make you a guaranteed offer and I will buy your home from you so you can purchase and close on my client's home. Pretty cool, huh? No conditional offers. No taking your house off the market hoping that the buyer is going to be able to get their home sold to buy yours. Guaranteed sale. When we guarantee the sale, that simply means you know your home is sold at your price. That's it. And it solves the real estate catch-22, which is you're not getting stuck owning two homes or no home at all. And it's a very important solution because look how many buyers, 80% of the buyers that are out there looking for homes like yours, they have a home to sell, just like the Edmonds family did. We guaranteed the sale of their home, and then we got it sold in a week for 99% of list price. And so they were delighted and they were able to move on and actually buy a new construction home that they really wanted. Because we want to make sure that everything that can be done for you will be done, including, if we need to, purchase a buyer's home in order for them to buy yours. It's simple as that. So you benefit from all of these programs because we're willing to guarantee the sale of a buyer, we're willing to provide firm offers, and we're willing to offer them just the same as we will do for you if you buy a home with us, our buyer satisfaction guarantee, which says, hey, if you buy our seller's home, anytime in the first 24 months that you've owned that home, if anything changes and you're not happy with it, we'll come back in and we'll sell this home for free for you. So it takes all the worry and concern about making a wrong choice in buying your home, because we're guaranteeing that if they're not satisfied, we'll get them out of it and get them another home, and it won't cost them a dime to sell this home. You take that and you put that together with our guaranteed sale program, and you marry that with all of the marketing that we do. That's why, using our specialized knowledge, we're able to do this. Last year, in 2018, unlike my colleagues, and a lot of houses sold because there weren't a lot of houses on the market. But unlike our colleagues, we sold 100% of our homes in 2018 versus 76% of the houses that our colleagues had. So you want to be in that 25% ghetto where your home didn't sell? And the reason that happens is because we really know where the buyers come from. And we know that that really comes from doing superior market research, really understanding the statistics for the market, so that when you take a look at our track record, this is what you see. For every 3 homes that the average agent sells, we sell 96. And we sell them for top dollar, you know, in the fourth quarter of 2018. And this varies from quarter to quarter. But in the fourth quarter of 2018, we sold our listings for an average of 6% more than the average agent did. Now think about that. We sell them for 99% of the original list price, and the average agent sells them for 93.7% of the list price. On a $200,000 house, that's $10,600 more in your pocket. And I don't know about you, but $10,000 is a lot of money to me. And then we just sell them faster. Our average days on market is 13, and the average in the city is 44. And because we really dot every I and cross every T, that's what helps create a selling partner like us in a safe situation. Because there really is a difference in selling your home. It's just selling a home or selling your home right. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, based on everything that we've talked about, you feel pretty comfortable about me being able to get your home sold for you tonight? And when they say yes, you say, okay, great. And you close that laptop or you shut off that tablet and you go straight to the CMA. And now you're about the business of really talking about what's their home worth? Where do they fit in the marketplace? And how long do you really think it will take for them to get their home sold so that they can achieve the bottom line that you believe they can get? And now you've solved all 4 of the problems that you set out to solve. And then you just sign that darn agreement, hand them their guarantees, get them ready to get the house set up, get the photography ordered, and go sell that darn house.